One option when you begin to what we call build your course is to import content from a previous semester where possibly if you're working in a department, maybe a teacher will share content and then you start with it and then adjust it. If you want to start fresh with just your, adding your content from scratch, this is what it would look like when you first go in it. And right now it's in what we call weekly format. And I'll show you here in a second how that happens and what that looks like. This look is going to stay no matter what you're teaching, what semester you're teaching, what department you're in. We use this, it's called a snap theme. And so every course for the college looks like this. So if I go over to the cogwheel and go to settings, this is where options, for instance, to show and hide the course. When you're building the course and it's before a semester starts, probably you're going to hide it. That way it's not available to a student by mistake and they think they can go in there and look at something when you're not really ready for them to do that yet. The beginning of the semester then, I always have everybody go check and make sure that this says show. We have a default setting that should turn it to this at the beginning of each semester, but sometimes that part doesn't work, and so I ask that everyone go and check this for themselves. The other option under here that is really important is this format thing that I referred to on the other screen. Right now it's on weekly, and it's calculating that based on the course start date. This information over here is generated by our main system, and so none of this should be touched. If it needs to be adjusted at all, we would let you know that. Otherwise, don't go over here and do anything. All right, so we're saying the course start date is August 1. And when you go out and look then, that's why this starts with August 1. If it said the course date was September 16th, then that would be the dates. And then everything else is calculated from that. If you don't like the weekly format, the other one that's very popular is topics. So now if I go look at that one, where there was weeks, and now says topic. So that would afford you the opportunity to click on it and then click edit section, and then you could go in here and put what you want. So for instance, maybe you're going to have lectures and hit save. So then under that, maybe you would just list, if you had a recording, you would just list all your lectures in there, and maybe you have another category that's readings and another category that's quizzes and tests and so on. Lots of teachers use this format, so it's really your preference. It seems that if you're teaching an online course, the idea of weeks tends to be the popular one, and one that I think students like best because it really does help keep them on track as far as knowing what week they're in and where they should go look for material. All right, the only other thing that I want to show under this is under appearance. This is where there's an option to show or hide the grade book. My understanding, the stance that the college takes, is that this should be yes, unless you're in the middle of calculating grades or you're looking some things over or your grade book just doesn't look right to you and you want to turn it off for a little bit and ask some questions and so on. Otherwise, this should always be on. And that is probably the most important things in there. If you had any other questions about any of this, please feel free to reach out to the FTLC and we can answer your questions for you.